What if I told you that one single keystroke almost triggered World War III? Not a movie, not a simulation, but a real event buried deep in Cold War history. It was 1980 and the world was a powder keg. The US and the Soviet Union, each armed to the teeth with nuclear warheads, were on a knife's edge. All it would take is one miscalculation, one wrong move to tip the scales and send the world into chaos. Then on November 9, 1979, the unthinkable happened. A message flashed across the screens at NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command. The early warning system had just detected 6 incoming Soviet missiles headed straight for the United States. Fighter jets were immediately scrambled and emergency procedures were put into action. The President's Command Center was alerted and minutes ticked by, each one bringing the world closer to the brink. The military prepared to retaliate against the perceived Soviet attack. But then a strange thing happened. No missiles ever arrived. It turned out that the entire incident was the result of a simple mistake. A computer technician had mistakenly inserted a training tape into the live defense system. The tape contained simulated data that was meant only for training exercises, not for an actual defense scenario. But because of the human error, the computer system misread the training data as a real attack, triggering the alarm. Imagine for a moment the horror and confusion of those in charge. Fighter jets were in the air, nuclear bombers were being prepped, and the president was being briefed on an imminent attack that was happening. It was a terrifying close call that could have had catastrophic consequences. But thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. Those in charge double-checked the data and realized that there had been a mistake. The alert was called off and the military stood down. Although the incident was kept under wraps for years, it highlights just how fragile our systems are to human error. But it wasn't a one-off. Just months later in 1980, the system malfunctioned again. It reported that 2 Soviet missiles had been launched, then 200 more. Again, fighter jets were scrambled and the world braced for impact. But once more, the attack never came. This time, a faulty 46-cent computer chip was to blame. These incidents, although terrifying in their implications, do offer a valuable lesson. The end of the world doesn't need a madman in a bunker flipping a switch. It could come from a simple typo, a training tape, or a bad chip. In an age of increasing tensions and complex technology, we can learn from these mistakes and appreciate the need for double-checking and vigilance. After all, it's not just about preventing the worst-case scenario, it's also about ensuring that the best-case scenario doesn't become the worst-case scenario. One glitch nearly ended it all, so smash like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more mind-blowing true stories.